Hello and welcome to this, my first attempt at unboxing video. I've just got XCOM, the board game, which I'm very excited about. I'll be playing it later this evening, but I thought I'd just do a quick unboxing video first. Once I've played it, I will be posting something letting everyone know what I thought. So, enjoy the unboxing. So this is the box. Pretty standard boxiness. The artwork's taken from the XCOM Enemy Unknown video game. Once you've opened it, you find the usual advert pamphlet from Fantasy Flight with a load of games in there, basic contents and setup instructions, including illustrations of how the board is set up for play on the back, and a load of tokens, and actually an unusually low number for a Fantasy Flight game. To give you a rundown on those tokens, first off there's satellites. These are activated by the central officer and permit abilities like moving a UFO somewhere around the board so it's less of a threat, or they're used to attack UFOs that are in orbit. Next you've got scientists. These are assigned to research by the chief scientist so you can upgrade your various soldiers and weapons and abilities. These tokens are the continents. They go on the panic track. If 2 end up in the red zone, game over. The X tokens are allocated to missions and aliens to illustrate success. Each mission and alien requires a set amount to complete or kill. Diamonds are the threat token. Threat increases if you push your luck and roll dice multiple times. This token moves along the track to illustrate that. The S tokens are currency. If you assign satellites, scientists, interceptors or soldiers, they'll cost you money. The commander has to make sure you don't overspend. Exclamation mark is the base damage token, and it moves along when you take damage. The base token, with the XCOM soldiers on it, is placed on the continent where home base is located. The base dictates which abilities the commander has. And finally, the star tokens are assigned to soldiers when they become elites. Elites get an extra die in missions and attacks against aliens, which is very important. So this is the board. It's quite busy looking, as you'll see once it's unfolded. There's a side allocated to each player, with the various functions you perform being in easy reach. You really do want to make sure you sit on the correct side of the board, because you don't want to be reaching across all the time when you're up against the clock. The back of the contents leaflet shows you how everything should be laid out, ready for you to play. The all-important dice now. The red die is the alien die. Roll equal or less than the threat, and you lose on a check, which kills soldiers, destroys interceptors, or renders scientists and satellites useless for a while. The blue dice have the success icon on 2 sides. Yep, they don't come up in your favour that often, so you need to roll as many as possible, as often as possible, if you want to get more chance of success. So there's lots of minis here to represent the UFOs, the interceptors, and the different types of soldiers. They're not all shown here, but this gives you an impression of the quality. As is typical for Fantasy Flight, they're pretty good. There's 3 bags of cards with a game. The first bag of little cards contains the aliens and crises. There are 11 aliens, with some having extra abilities, like reducing the number of dice rolled. In addition, they require a different number of successes dependent on how tough they are. The crises are drawn by the commander, who selects one of 2. Something bad will always happen, but the commander can try and minimise the harm by selecting the lesser of 2 evils. The next bag contains the cards associated with each role in the game. Each role has asset cards. The commander gets different asset cards depending on the continent the XCOM base is in. The chief scientist gets 3 assets, plus a deck of research cards from which he draws items they can potentially research. The central officer runs the game app and also has 3 assets. And the squad leader has 1 asset card, but also has the reserve cards for each of the different soldier types. The soldiers have different skills, which affects which missions and aliens they can fight, and can also give them additional dice if they're specialised in a particular skill, which is indicated by the yellow box around their skill icon. The final components are the large cards, and there are 3 types. First off, there's the invasion plan. This is selected by the app, or you can choose one yourself, and will determine how the alien threat manifests. Will they go after the different continents more, or will they focus on attacking the XCOM base, for example? The app will throw events at the player based on the alien plan. There's 5, so 4 short of the necessary. Next you have missions, which come into play each round. The squad leader draws 2 and selects 1 from them. Completing them can give you a bonus, but only 1 mission can be active at a time. However, the squad leader can discard the active one and replace it with a new one when he's asked to select missions, if he thinks the bonus is better than the one that he's working on. And last, and least, the reserve cards are simply a home for the commander's interceptors, the chief scientists, and the central officer's satellites. There you have it, XCOM the board game unboxed. Thanks for watching, and if you like what you see, subscribe to the channel or follow me on Twitter at D12GamesGuru.